Hello and welcome back to the show. My name is Erica and today we're going to be taking a look at this dog food container. Now you might be wondering what's inside the dog food container or what could it possibly be used for? We actually use it to culture a number of insects. They're bright, they're green, and they're a species of roach, the green banana roach. A common misconception that many people, including myself, tend to have is that these roaches are dirty. But while recording video of these colorful critters, they spend around 90% of their time grooming, which is a shared habit that many other various species of roaches do as well. Now we've had this culture going for the better part of a year now, and it's about time to give the container they're in a bit of a refresh. So what we've done is we've removed them and the substrate that they were originally in. The original setup we did was predominantly cocoa coir to help avoid issues with mold. However, that didn't really help much with holding the humidity that a tropical species like this needs. And when wet, it would clump together a little more than we liked. I have a neat idea to stick a net cup in this cork tube, which will then hold the water crystals for them to drink. For anyone curious though, water crystals just give them access to the water with a far lower chance of drowning, like you normally have if there was just standing water in a container. For food, these roaches really aren't picky at all, but I have some cherry tomatoes that I've cut up, and I place them in another net cup on the other side of the container. The net cup just makes it easier to toss out the empty skins of the fruits or veggies that I feed them without it getting buried in the substrate. This time around, we're using the bulk mix that we made up in the past of Serpa Design's Tropical Terrarium mix. I'll have a link in the description below for you guys. The sphagnum in this Tropical Terrarium mix will do far better job of holding the water, which will help us keep the humidity levels that we want in this bin. For our best chance of success, we'll be adding in a culture of springtails as well, as a preventative measure against mold that may try to start. A good thing to note about this species is that because they come from a tropical climate of Cuba and the surrounding areas, they need high humidity and enjoy more heat than many other species of roaches do. They do well in 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 to 29 degrees Celsius. The nymphs are dark brown or black and like to burrow in the soil most of the time. They don't have wings and they can't fly until reaching adulthood. But once they reach adulthood, they gain the power to climb vertical and smooth surfaces with ease, and they get a plus 15 to stealth checks.
Erica started the video because I was feeling sick and it was hard for me to talk, and now she's having a hard time talking, so I'm going to finish up the rest of this video. With this container, we did have to do a few things to actually make it airtight, even though it was supposed to be off the bat. We had to put some weather stripping on the inside of this like easy access lid, which is kind of nice instead of having to open up the whole thing, because these roaches actually like to go towards light to an extent when they're adults, so they kind of group up on the lid. So we put a little bit of like weather stripping on the inside of here, and then that holds pretty well. And then on the edges, the main lid also had a little bit of an issue with being fully airtight, so we didn't want the bugs to be getting out because they're little escape artists. So we had to put this strap around it just so that it puts a little bit of pressure in the center here, and it helps close that gap up we were seeing. And you're probably also noticing on the sides here. We wound up drilling some holes and then putting some mesh over it, so that way we can get some circulation going through. We have some on this side as well as on the opposite side of this tank.